mankind. Come on. Hey, we are in the fight for the soul of our nation. We are in a fight for our kids and our grandkids, a fight that we can never imagine. Trump and Butler County's J.D. Vance are the last chance to save our country politically. I'm afraid if we lose this one, it's going to take a civil war to save the country, and it will be saved. It's the greatest experiment in the history of mankind. And if we come down to a civil war, I'm glad we got people like Schmitty and the Bikers for Trump on our side.
How long did you all think it was going to take before Republicans went back to using their traditional violence as the answer for everything political?
If he were to lose again, what would that mean for the country in your estimation?
We'd have an uprising. There's too many people that are ready to go now.
When you say, what does that mean? Can you be specific?
Civil war. Civil war.
You think it'll be a civil war if Trump loses again?
Oh, yes, I do. I know with people that I talk to, I'm a churchgoer, and I love God more than my life. But there are things that I do for God that I don't do for anybody else. And this is one thing I know that God needs some help here. You know, actually, my first election that I'd been to was Donald Trump. And
when you say your first election you've been to, you never voted before that, or?
I voted, but I never got into it. Now, you know, I can spend just all waking moments thinking what I need to do. And of course, I can't afford a whole bunch of money, but I can sure talk.
I had somebody tell me that they would take a bullet for Donald Trump.
I think I would too, because I'm not that young. If I was young, I'd never say that. But I would too. I mean,
we don't want to lose your wisdom to that.
But I don't know what it is about him. He's got that charisma, says it like it is, never backs down. He never says anything that he shouldn't.
Do you want to take that one back?
I know you've heard it, but I never hear those things.
If President Trump were to lose, what would that mean for you and for the country?
Doom. I mean, something's got to change. This administration now is not for this country. They're for every country except us. Yeah, so there's got to be a change somewhere. The administration is there now. We don't have a chance.
You know, do you think we're getting close to, and I'm not saying this hyperbolically because people are saying it all over.
War?
Civil war, yeah.
Yeah, I've said that numerous times. Yeah, I've said that numerous times. I've thought that a long time. I think they're going to push the wrong button pretty soon, or one of these days, and all hell's going to break loose. If it goes the wrong way, and they go after ammunition and guns the way they already have, there's going to be trouble.
We're here for the people. We're ready to take our country back, get rid of the people that shouldn't be in office and put the people in that need to be in.
I think we're doomed. I don't know if it's going to happen.
If Putin came over here, I would probably join his forces and take out these rhinos that we have and the corrupt government.
Steve Bannon said we should support Putin because he's anti-woke.
Putin ain't woke. He is anti-woke. The Russians, people still know which bathroom to use.
Really? Well, I guess he doesn't put up with wokeism in his country, and I don't know if we should put up with it in ours.
Well, just like Tucker Carlson said and President Trump said, that Putin is a genius, and he is a genius. He's playing the rest of the world chess where Biden is playing checkers.
Is it really genius, though, if Putin finds his troops overextended? I mean, they're already facing a lot more casualties than they thought.
Well, if you believe what you see and read all the time, you may be right or you may not be right. President or Putin could have put in his freshman forces out there versus his sophomore JV or varsity. So
and that would be a genius thing to do?
It's a genius thing for him, the way he's taking control as a leader of the rest of Europe.
The war in Ukraine could have been avoided with having our own oil independence.
So you think there's more that you think if we had been independent in terms of energy, the war in Ukraine would not have happened?
I'm not going to say that. Could have been avoided with having our own oil independence.
And what would Trump have done differently in your estimation?
I don't know.
Is that Steve Bannon's channel? Do you watch any of his stuff?
Sure. We watch him on, we use Pluto TV to get to his channel, but yeah, we watch Steve a lot.
Now, Steve Bannon said something about Ukraine, that we should just let the Russians do what they want because Putin's anti-woke. What do you make of that?
You know, it's hard to tell you. I mean, you get a lot of information coming in one ear and out the other.
This whole thing's a scam. It's a total and complete scam.
I mean, I trust what Steve has to say, and
So if he says we should trust Vladimir Putin, we should just do it.
no, I don't. I wouldn't trust Vladimir Putin with my life.
We have more chaos, more danger.
Should we be doing anything more aggressively towards Russia?
The last thing I want to see is our troops, fight Russians.
So Lindsey Graham, Marco Rubio say we have to.
Lindsey Graham is
South Carolina.
I understand that, and one day I hope that we get rid of him.
Donald Trump said of Vladimir Putin's invasion, how smart is that?
How smart is that? That's what he said. For them to invade, I think it's horrific. I mean, I'd like to know more about the context of why he would say something like that.
Yesterday, reporters asked me if I thought President Putin was smart. I said, of course he's smart, to which I was greeted with, oh, that's such a terrible thing to say. I'd like to tell the truth. Yes, he's smart.
He said this is genius.
Genius? No. Don't agree with that.
What about all those conservatives, Republicans who say, we should support Vladimir Putin, like Steve Bannon, like Donald Trump, like Mike Pompeo said he had great respect for Vladimir Putin?
Personally, I disagree strongly with that. I think we should treat Vladimir Putin like conservatives treat Xi Jinping. Absolutely not. We should not be supporting any dictatorships whatsoever.
How long did you think it was going to take before it was back on the campaign trail? This idea of unity after we saw what happened to Donald Trump. It didn't take long. We absolutely know that they have no policy and their grievance are always solid with violence, filled with violence. It is the only thing they want to talk about. Fight, fight, fight. Not political fight, not like work your ass off to win an election. They're talking about civil war. How are you calling yourself a patriot and that you love this country when you're talking about a civil war? The ideal of civil war is the very opposite of patriotism. But that requires logic. And I don't understand why I continue to try to add logic in a place where it's not called for. The Republican Party is not concerned with logic. The way that the followers of MAGA think has nothing to do with patriotism, America first, or any of that. It's about one thing. And I keep saying this. It's about whiteness. And we need to get serious and name that because it's becoming a problem that's gonna kill someone. Literally, these people are calling for a civil war. Mind you, as a veteran, I'm well aware that the Civil War was the deadliest for American soldiers. It killed more American soldiers than any other conflict up till today. The Civil War was the deadliest of American soldiers, for American soldiers. So when people are on a political stage in this context, what the hell are you calling for? You can't have an American flag flying saying you are for dividing this nation if your candidate does not win. That is the opposite of democracy and patriotism. You all about to get serious before someone gets hurt. I'm Mondale Robinson. These Republicans are scary.